So the first thing that I want to do in this two-part piece right here is give this show some kudos because I believe we were pretty on top of the super under the radar, nobody talking about it, minor league deal with an invite camp signing of Jose Ruiz last season, where the three of
Mm-hmm.
us said, if you get anything from this guy, he might break the team with camp, he might not, but if you get anything from this guy, it could end up being a decent move because the stuff is playable. It was just a matter of figuring things out and finding a role for him. I think he exceeded all of our expectations.
Yeah.
To get a high end, low leverage, so this is going to sound strange. Bear with me. High end, low leverage, low end, middle leverage type of reliever. So like the best of the
Yeah.
low leverage, the bottom tier of the middle leverage guys for the hundreds of thousands of dollars that they did last season, and now for 1.2 million this season. I think it ended up being one of the sneaky good signings of the 2023 offseason or heading into the 2024 season for this Phillies team because he ended up being a pretty serviceable middle reliever for the second half of the season. I know there was a little bit of a rough patch early in the year, but his middle of the season numbers from like June through August were spectacular. And they relied upon him pretty heavily. And to get him back for $1 million and some change, I think is a really good move for this team who, obviously there's going to be turnover in the bullpen. Jeff Hoffman, Carlos Estevez still remain up in the air. The likelihood is you're not bringing both back. You may bring one back. But to be able to kind of solidify the lower leverage portions of your bullpen, and they're going to still probably look to bring somebody else in to be another arm, perhaps a lefty of a similar situation where it's a spring training invite with a minor league deal, to pair with a Jose Alvarado at the lower portions of the bullpen, to pair with the Tanner Banks at the lower portions of the bullpen. But I think Dave Dombrowski and his crew, who have received a lot of flack for their trade deadline moves, and probably rightfully so, deserve a little bit of credit for the under the radar signing that was Jose Ruiz last year.
It's a good point to bring up, actually. And I want to just add to, I'm sorry, Jamie, to cut you off. I wanted to add to that because when you look at Jose Ruiz last season as a non-roster invitee to spring training, and I remember throughout the course of the season at times us thinking when somebody comes back, Jose Ruiz is going to be, on the chopping block. And he continued to fight for his role. He continued to fight for his spot, stayed on the team. And you talk about how he got better as the season went on. Overall, in his 52 appearances, for a guy that did not allow an earned run in 40 of those 52 appearances, and then after the All-Star break, had a 1.99 ERA in 25 games, in a time where the Phillies went down. A lot of statistics, a lot of the players had a regression after the All-Star break, and Jose Ruiz is one that got better. And even when he was put out there in the NLDS in a situation, gave up the home run to Pete Alonso, we remember that and kind of wondered, wait, why is Jose Ruiz coming out now? I think the game was like 2-0 at that time. It was a 2-run score. And he handled every time we doubted him, to your point, Tyler, Jose Ruiz was one that quietly did enough.